Hey guys, what's up? How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good weekend. I've seen a couple of my people from over in the UK. Shout out from across the pond. Good to see you here. Dennis, Jacqueline, Queen, Jerry, Missy. Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks to all the subs. Thanks to all of the moderators. You guys do an awesome job. Thank you for being willing to do that. Hey, Tab. G513, always top 10. Always. You're in here quick. Janelle, Julie, Wendy, E-Rock. What's up, E-Rock? Gina, Nicole, Rita, Dennis, Crystal, E-Rock. Again, what's up? Lewis, Michael, Emo, Kathy, Tab again. Alright guys, yeah, I'm going to try and make this one kind of a quick one. Hey Marie, how you doing? How are you doing? That's right. Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. Like it, Marie, like it. How's it go? How's it go? How's it going? What's up, Samuel? Keith, Far. Okay. Rita. Monica. Dennis, yep. Hey, Sig, my brother. Oh, man. Good to see everybody in here. Christine, what's going on, guys? I will probably try to make this one pretty quick. There's just some things in here going on right now I just want to bring to your guys' attention, and I'll probably come back later on tonight with another one, just depending on what's going on, but most likely that'll probably happen. I usually try to go on about, I don't know, about a half hour, 45 minutes before Mark does. And that way we can all go over there after my stream, because he's usually live by the time I get off. So that's kind of why I do that. That way we can all, you know. Thanks, E-Rock. I appreciate that, buddy. I really do. Hey, Virgo. Diane. I should say. Diana. Okay, so, yeah. Take you guys back here first. Obviously, guys, you know, if you read my thumbnail, we've had some earthquakes going on. We've also got solar weather, and we got a crazy looking little hailstorm happening over in Beruit. You know, pretty crazy looking video, I'll tell you that. But we'll just start with this, and I want to talk about the Schumann here for a second too. And the reason why, guys, is, you know, there's a lot of questions being asked right now because of, we had a huge spike a couple days ago, but it only showed up on the Italian version of this tool. Okay, it's really not this tool. It's actually a different. It's the disclosure site that I was using there for a while. This one. Okay, and I can't go down technically and tell you exactly what all this stuff means. Again, that would be a good job for Verte. He definitely knows what he's talking about when it comes to that. And there are others, okay? But I send everybody over to Verte because he really does take the time to try to help people. But notice the difference here, there to there. And I'm only showing you both because they are in two different locations. And that matters. Alright? We have to understand that if we look at a spike on these things, like if you guys just kind of back up from this right here and you look at it from a broad viewpoint, what are we seeing? It's kind of easy to pick out right now. It wasn't so much yesterday, but you see this little block of increased frequency. The hertz levels had went up, right? It's more of a hazy look on this tool. So that's different than what it did. That's different than what it was looking like. That should draw people's attention. And that's really why I want people to look at these things, because, you know, if they don't look like they normally do, then you need to stop and look at it and see what's going on, because that's really what I do pretty much on everything. I've looked at these tools enough now that I've gotten a pretty good idea of what they normally should look like, and when they don't look like that, that's when it grabs my attention. And I hope that you guys are kind of coming along with that also, because I do hope that that's what you guys are doing. I don't want you guys to ever take anything that I'm saying as 100% anything until you go look at it for yourself. make up your own mind what you're seeing and what's going on. You know, but do that with a little bit of a knowledge base of what the tool is actually trying to show you. That's my goal here, to show you the observations that I'm making, but at the same time, show you guys what the tool is showing you, and what to look at, and what to look for. That way you can make, you know, a better decision for yourself on what you believe is going on. So that's that's kind of what, you know, that's been the goal of my channel for quite some time. Hey Tabby, good to see you. Rita, Wendy, Heaven's Gems, Monica. But yeah, guys, you know, if anybody was here during the beginning of my channel, they see it kind of evolve into something to what it is now. Now, I'm kind of leaving out all the, like, upgraded video stuff that I do here now. Editing's a lot better. Live streaming's a lot better. I got a lot of better graphics, that kind of thing. Yes, and I hate to say this, but that is important, and let me tell you why. Because as a YouTube viewer, if you back off, and if I just take myself out of a channel creator position and just look at YouTube information as a whole, and I start looking at the stuff I watch for entertainment, knowledge, trying to learn, whatever I'm doing there, right? Do it yourself videos, that kind of stuff. If I take myself out of that creator thing and I look at somebody's channel, if I come across a channel and it's extremely blurry, or it's hard to hear, or if it's just like really just all over the place, this, that, and the other, I skip over it. So that's why I try not to do that here, because people tend to stay if it at the very least looks like it's a little bit of something. You know, we don't play up what's going on. I'm talking about simple graphics and stuff like that. I'm not talking about the information itself. I try to put it across in a way that everybody can understand, and that's why I do that. And I felt like I needed to explain that, because I want people to understand that if you're doing your own channel, yes, you need to start at a very low level, because that's where everybody does. I did my channel on my phone for over 1.5 years. And there's nothing wrong with that. But understand that there's people out there that can help you upgrade your stuff, even with a phone, with free apps. Go back and look at my channel 6 months ago. That was all done on my phone. And I think if people kind of grab that, you're going to start seeing a whole lot of people stick around after that, because it does look more professional. It does look more cut, and it's more of what people want to see. And if you get down to the brass tacks of it, it has to be a little bit entertaining, or people are just not going to stay. They're not going to click. You know? And I don't use clickbait or nothing like that, but I do put titles in there of like the words like earthquake and stuff like that, because that does help the algorithm. So I just wanted to put that a little bit of info out there so people understand why I do that, and why I think it's important to have a good intro and that kind of thing. And I'm willing to help anybody out there that doesn't have that kind of stuff or that kind of knowledge base to be able to do that. I can help you. It's very easy. It's really not that hard. I mean, if you got your phone, if you got a PC, whatever, I can help you with that. I can send you to channels there's channels out there dedicated simply to that. That's how I learned how to do OSB. So, yeah, Paul, you remember the... yeah, that's one of my friends from UK there, guys. You know, and then that's what you're right. And it does come down at the end of it, if you draw somebody in and they click, if you don't have good content, they're not coming back. But the fact of the matter is, you have to get them in there first, or there's not even a chance. And I think that's why that the quality of the video you put out is really, you know, it's important. It's not something we should just ignore. So that's why I say that. So I get asked that question a lot. But anyway, you got this right here, right? This is, again, it's kind of hazy. It doesn't look the same. So if we look at this, then obviously this is going to look way crazy. But this one's in Italy. This one is in Russia. And that's the important distinction to make, because if I look at this and then I can tie it back to the sun, then yes, it's probably a global thing. But if I can't go back to the sun with this, or some sort of a global event, then this is a regional thing. To be really simple about it. It doesn't mean that the frequency can't change globally without some sort of solar event. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying we got to be able to track it back to make sure that this is a global event. Like if you're having ringing in your ears and stuff like that. I live in the States. This is a Russian tool. So if I come look at this, I need to know where to go to vet that to see if that's actually what I'm experiencing where I live. So, oh, you're killing me there. Anyway, but you know, there's been a lot of controversy right now between these two tools, because there were a lot of people that jumped out on this one when it showed that really huge spike, because this tool here did not. So what that meant was it was regional. It was not a global event. So something happened, and we most certainly should pay attention to that. But we cannot sit there and say it's a global event and was affecting everybody, because it was not. Because if it was, it would have showed up here too. And it didn't. Hey Rip, you in here, bud? Good to see you, man. I think you've been killing it on your channel, by the way. Watched the last couple of your videos, man. Good job. Anyway, space weather. We had a flare here, okay? That looked to be around, what, 2 o'clock, somewhere around there, UTC. Let's see here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 3. Yeah, a little, probably around 2 o'clock, I would say. Hey, the bear, what's up? So, and then we get, you know, a little bit of rise in geomagnetic activity, and that's cool. You know, that's what we need. That level of geomagnetism right there is really good for us. It blocks the cosmic rays, and then we're not in the storm level, so we don't really have much of an issue there. The proton flux, thankfully, is starting to die back down. And we're talking about radiation, if you want to get basic with this, okay? The astronauts pay attention to this, people that fly in high latitudes. If we get up in the storm level, you know, radiation storm levels, then we start talking about that. Typically, what's going on here doesn't really affect us here on the surface. It would really have to be really a pretty decent sized radiation storm for it to really like make us concerned about having health risks and stuff. Now again, we have to understand that there are cracks in our magnetic field too. So in those places, if we were getting, you know, radiation storms, that definitely would make it down. Hey man, you know, credit where credit's due, brother. I mean, hey Debbie, what's up? You know, you do a good job over there, man. You know, I point people over there. You guys should go check out Rip's channel. Rip, you can drop your link in there if you want to. But anyway, first look at the sun. Now, I've been talking about the sunspots here on the southern hemisphere of the sun, and I gave you guys a very basic reason on what was going on there, how sunspots are formed, why do they start higher latitudes on the sun and early on in the sun cycle and migrate towards the equator as we go further along. The main reason that you got, this is what I've been telling everybody at a very basic level, the main reason they migrate towards the equator of the sun is because the equator of the sun, this little section of the sun here, it rotates faster than the north and southern hemisphere. So it takes the magnetic lines that were vertical and pulls them horizontal. Okay, so, you know, if the sun was not spinning, not rotating at all, these sunspots would not be in these positions. They would probably be straight up and down on the sun, because that's where the magnetic connection lines would follow. Okay? So, you know, once it does migrate towards the middle, then it does its polarity flip, and that starts the new sun cycle. That's what we, you know, that is a sun cycle, roughly 11 years. It takes the sun roughly 11 years for that to happen. Now, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but in my mind, logically, if the speed of the equator of the sun was to slow or speed up I would think that sun cycle date would have to vary, because, you know, in my mind, it wouldn't be winding up as fast, or it would be winding up faster. So that's an interesting thing I've been trying to think about here, and I don't know exactly if that's even possible or what, but that does help explain why we see the sunspots in the positions we do, and why we've always seen it migrate towards the equator. I never knew that until just probably 6 months ago. You know, because frankly, during my channel at the beginning, yes, we had some activity on the sun, which is what kind of drew me into this. But after that, we got into a solar minimum, and there was really not much to talk about on the sun. And what it did was it allowed me to kind of actually, you know, get to know the sun a lot better. But that's just what it did for me. Now, we got coronal holes too. Okay, guys? We are connected to some of these, and we're going to be getting the winds from these in a few days. So that's what we're going to be watching for. That can put us in the storm level. It can increase earthquake risks, all that stuff. ACE data, wind speed's pretty normal, temperature's normal, density's normal. You know, we're up, some of it's kind of hitting around 10. 4 is normal. So, you know, we're kind of around there. It's not a big increase or anything. The phi angle seems as though the polarity of the solar wind here is flipping once in a while. Every time it does that, it will jerk on our magnetosphere. Okay? Every once in a while, it can actually throw us into storm level. Just for a minute. But sometimes it does that when it jerks real hard. Anyway, the BZ, the angle of which the solar wind comes in at, when it's in a negative position, that means that it's more, you know, conducive. Situation is right for that energy to easily make it into our system here on our planet. Now, when it's in the positive, it's kind of doing the opposite. So, but overall, guys, this is all pretty normal right here. Nothing really crazy going on there. Now, the Enlil model. This is where I want to talk about something for a second, because this is what's happening here. This is like what we're going to be talking about in the next couple days. I started hitting at this a couple days ago when Stereo A got hit by this. Okay? Because we're going to have the same thing. So if I back this model up, just so people that are new here, if they don't know what we're looking at, that's Stereo A, this is the Earth, this is the Sun. We're looking at a top-down view of our inner solar system. This is a side view. These line graphs over here, the green one is conditions at Earth. The red one is Stereo A. Don't even worry about Stereo B, because we don't get any data from that. We're not allowed to see it. So what we're looking at here, it shows us 2 days behind us. Okay, so we're about right there in time right now. So that's all historic behind us. So we got 1, 2, possibly 3 days before this gets here. Now that's a high density event. Okay, it's 50. That's 50 on the density chart. So normal is 4. Okay, just so you guys have an understanding of that. But something else that's significant that I haven't been talking about a whole lot is the fact that right after the density hits, watch what happens with the speed. Density hits right there. It peaks out. See how the speed's kind of low? Then the speed just extremely spikes up. And the density drops out. But the speed, look what the speed does. It stays up there. Okay? If you look here, that's speed. It's showing you speed of the charged particles. That's all that this part's showing you. This is the density of those particles. We don't usually see the black here. At least we haven't in the past couple years a whole lot. Again, we were in solar minimum, so that's why. Now we're coming back up into some more active areas, active conditions for the sun, and that's why we're seeing this stuff. So you can see how the density hits, it starts to fall off, and then all of a sudden the speed spikes at the same time. So in the next couple of days, we're going to have to watch this, because if this does materialize and actually become what happens, we're probably going to see some storm levels. We could see some earthquakes pop off again, along with a lot of other stuff. Okay, we're going to have to watch it. And 50 on the density, guys, that's high. Okay, like I said, 4 is normal. Aurora, it's kind of jumping around a little bit, but not too much. You can see where the electron flux here is jumping around. Notice how the proton flux has come back down to like pretty much straight line now, which is good. That's a good thing. Hey, Hilly, what's up, man? Fred, Carolyn, Paula, good to see you guys in here. This is a solar flare. This right here you're looking at is this right here. It looks like it might have got to C range. Regardless, it's a low C class, so it's not going to do much. If anything, it ionized the atmosphere here, and that's what this is showing you. You can see it. I'll run the model here in just a second. Well, I'll just run it now. I'll back it up and we'll run it. It'll ionize the atmosphere, and it can cause radio blackouts. Okay, or brownouts, whatever you want to call them. But this was not a long-lasting event. See that? Something else I want to point out. It is interesting that we've been seeing some of these flares lately, and I've noticed that they seem to be hitting this South Atlantic anomaly quite a bit. If people don't know what the South Atlantic anomaly is, it's a magnetic distortion in our magnetic field. It's been there for a very long time, but it's gotten bigger over the past few years, and it's actually split into two sections now. It spans all the way from over here on South America to Africa. Okay? So, right where this thing hit. So, I ain't saying it's that's what caused it. I'm just saying it's interesting that it does seem, as of late, that's been happening quite a bit. Now, did this have anything to do with the earthquakes? I can't say yes or no. I don't know. But it did happen right around the time of a few of them and right before the other ones. And we'll show it to you here in just a second. But, again, guys, nothing big going on there. Okay? Hey, Ellie, what's up? Face the Sky, what's going on? Miss anybody else in here? KC's in the house. Julie, Black Messiah, what's up? Steve Brady, all right. Rippy. All right. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and show you the earthquakes real quick, and then we'll move on, okay, to the other stuff, because I know people want to see this. I don't want to make you guys wait. Obviously, you see, whenever USGS puts these things in red, I know that looks like a small quake, but sometimes they put that in areas where there's high population that we don't typically see, and it happened twice. Now, you might say, well, these are related. They are related, but let me show you something. This one was here. Let me just zoom in a little bit first. Okay? Keep in mind, right there. This one was way up here. Almost the full length of the state. Now, I think this one popped off first. That was at 10 Eastern time. And then this one was 17 minutes later. So for that energy to travel that far in 17 minutes is quite a feat. They did happen right around the same depth, though. Okay, 8.6 kilometers deep for this one, and 8.6 for that one. Now, I'm saying that because there's a default depth on here that the USGS uses, and that is it's 10 kilometers. So if you ever come on here and you're looking at the USGS, checking out some earthquakes and things, if one just pops off, typically right away they will assign it a 10 kilometer depth. Okay? And if you go back and look like an hour or so later, they usually have it updated to what it actually was. So keep that in mind when you're looking at this, okay? Hey, Angelo, what's up? I did read your emails, guys, just so you know. I responded to, I think I just responded to everybody. Hey, Third, what's up? Yeah, I ain't seen Dutch in a minute. But, guys, you know, Dutch isn't the only one out there that does a good job. Don't forget about Ron Tyler, Emergency Management Associates. I would, you know, guys, he takes a lot of time, and he does a really good job. Him and Ricky, she's one of my mods in here. I don't think she's in here right now. But Isaiah's granny also. Hey, 2Tim, what's up? Oh, did he? Just finished an update, 2Tim? Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not, yeah. No, I'm not saying anything like that. I just want everybody to understand that sometimes when Dutch isn't around or Dutch just doesn't have time, also keep in mind with Dutch, he goes over to Twitch a lot. Okay, I think nowadays, I think YouTube is kind of his secondary thing. Hey, Joanna. You know, it used to be reverse of that, but he uses Twitch a lot, which is fine. I mean, that's, I mean, wherever you're at, doesn't long as we know where people are at. Hey, Nickel. Third time, what's up? Bonnie, Wolfie, what's up? In the Bronx, baby, Angelo, that's right. How dare you? You know what I'm talking about. Thinker, what's up? Lady Fisher. Okay, so let's look at these earthquakes. Now, look, there was a 6-1 like an hour later down in Chile. Okay, now you guys know what I do when I first look at these things. If there's no tsunami box, the first thing I click on is the pager one. And the reason why is, for me, this is what I want to see. I want to know if there's a chance of people that could possibly be passing away, or if there's a chance of some major building collapses with economic damage, right? And right now, this is showing you estimated fatalities, and it's basically telling you no, there's no fatalities, or the chances of them happening. So then you can come over here to economic loss. Right now, they're saying 96%. No economic loss virtually no damage. Now, let's do this. Let me, let's go down here to the one off of Lakeport in California. It's got a tsunami box, so we'll click on it. I already looked at it. There is no tsunami warning, but I just wanted to show you guys what it actually looks like here. And then the pager button, obviously, I'm going to go to that. It's green, which is a good thing. So, but if you look at this is a little different than what I showed you guys on the 6-1. This said 96% chance, no economic loss. This is given a 30% chance of economic loss in the tune of $1 to $10 million. Okay, and then here it's giving you a 4% chance of $10 million to $100 million. So that's what that's showing you. So there was a better chance of something being damaged, and a lot of times it's because of this. Let me show you. Go over here to the shake map, and I think this is where it happened, right there. So if we go down and we keep moving in here, that's where the earthquake happened. Now, it wasn't like highly populated, but it was in a more populated area than what we were seeing down there in Chile, I believe. So let me click off of that, and we will go to the DYFI map. Come on. So if I go here, what this does is it puts it in blocks of right here. Okay, it tells you how strong things were from reports. So if we were to zoom in there, we're going to see like a a greenish color there, which would be right here. So it was light to moderate. And you can look at the cities and stuff around there. Now, it doesn't look, obviously it wasn't in like LA or anything like that. We get that, right? But at the same time, it doesn't mean that there weren't people around and buildings there. Now, the advantage for out here, guys, we all know that their building code is different here because of what I'm showing you. Their building codes are very, very strenuous out here in California. I went to California, I think it was back in 91 is when I went, maybe 89, I can't remember. One of those 2 years, but I never experienced an earthquake, at least one that I could like point out to you. But I will say I experienced the Santa Ana winds, and oh my gosh. Guys, I've never felt wind that hot. It was hot wind. If you guys don't know what that is, the Santa Ana winds, they actually come off the mountain and blow towards the ocean, which is kind of backwards of what it usually does. And that's why it was such a hot thing, because it was pulling stuff from inland and blowing it the other direction. And man, it was kind of crazy. Hey Ricky, what's up, girl? But yeah, I mean, it's so you guys can see what's going on here. I mean, there's stuff happening. A 6.1 obviously is the biggest one we've had today so far. But let me show you this too before we get off the earthquake subject. We can look at this, and this gives us a good idea of what's still happening. Obviously, yes, that looks like swarms, but I've been, kind of beating this point home that we can't just stop here. We have to go ahead and zoom on in. If we don't, we're not going to see them all. You guys see what I mean here? You see how they start to look like one as I zoom out? So we have to know that. Now here just south of this one, there's more there too. Let's go over here to Nevada in Mena, where we've been talking about, the one that happened a few months back, and we've been having quakes here ever since. Watch this. Look at all those. And that ain't even as massive as it gets sometimes. Now, we know that it swarms out here. That's a very, very, talked about subject. But we can see here, too, that it's the whole West Coast, guys, is moving. And it has for some time now. I do find it interesting, though, here at the Cascadia zone, that it seems as though the quakes like to take this track and not go out this way. I find that very interesting. But regardless, that's what's going on. Now, this is Yellowstone. That's a super volcano, guys, if you didn't know that. So we dive in here. And about 4 days ago, Mike and Cindy over at Evolutionary Energy Arts, they reported on that there was like 86 of them that day. And there's only 3 or 4 there right now, so stuff's kind of calmed down, I think, over there. But hey, George, what's up? So, and we, guys, we get these over here in Japan too. There's a 5.1. Guys, let me say this too. This stuff that we see, especially on the plate lines and the fault lines, plate boundaries, all that kind of stuff, that's usually where we see the action. But then when we see one like this in South Africa at a 4.8, you have to wonder, where did that come from? Now, I get that we don't have the seismographs and everything else in position like we do around our own country. I also know that thanks to Menacing and Ricky and everybody else here that pointed me over to, where's it at? I thought I had it pulled up. I guess I don't. Let me pull it up real quick. This is the Canadian agency, okay? See, here's all the Canadian earthquakes. If I click you over here to USGS, you're not seeing any of those. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the agencies do not share information. So we have to know where to go to look. And I didn't know to go look there. Everybody was always asking me, how come the earthquakes stop at the border and then return back up here in Alaska? And I knew why. I mean, I knew the stuff was happening. It ain't just going to stop there and then, you know what I mean? It's just I couldn't show it to you because I didn't know where to go. I didn't really research it all that hard. And then Menacing brought it up. Ricky had talked about it a minute, and all this other stuff. And Menacing sent me a link, and this is where I got the Canadian link here. And it's useful. It just is. So yeah. Okay. Here's the geoelectric field map, guys. This is the space weather's effect on our electrical grid. It's just going to kind of stay in that nominal position here, guys. Nothing big is going on, so I'm not going to waste much time with that. Magnetosphere. You guys know that this thing is moving around. So we will look at it. It's not like excessive right now, but it does do a few things. And a lot of this, what we're seeing now, again, isn't not something that's really all that crazy. Really, it's not crazy at all, to be honest with you. Now, something I did notice. Remember I've been talking about this anomaly right here, right? Well, now it's up here. So, I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah. Yeah, you see that? You guys see that right there? That's kind of odd when we see those kinds of things. Let's bring this back to here, and I'll tell you what I was talking about. See, if we go here, we're not getting anything from the front, right? Now watch what happens back here. See that? So you have to wonder what happened there. And sometimes I think, like I said, the Earth's kind of like a capacitor. It holds energy, and sometimes you just got to let it go. And that's what happens. So, that's behind our bow shock. It's behind our protection. This is inside our system. So, it didn't really come from outside of us. That had to come from something right there. And I guess, like I said, directional stuff. If that was coming from like directly behind, I don't think it would have went the direction that it did. The pressure would have been pushing this way. It would have held it, and that's not what we've seen. You can see it. Oops. Go from left to right. So that's just an observation, though. I mean, again, nothing really crazy happened around that, but yeah. So what we're looking at here is speed. Okay. Well, let me retract what I just said, because this is why we look at all these graphs. Okay. Let me show you something. I just showed you down here where we didn't see anything in the front, right? And right there. Then it moved right there, right? Well, if we go up here and look at the speed, see that? See that wave come in? Now watch what happens right after that wave. See it? So we did. We got hit in the front there. So I'll just retract what I said there because that was incorrect. So what we're looking at here is just a little bit of a hit from the sun. Nothing big. I only thought it was interesting because I didn't see it coming from this way. Now listen, and I have to beat this point home because I have multiple times. This is showing us density and nothing else. So what that means is, if you look here, and just pretend this is the density one right now. Okay? Let me bring it back to here. That'd help me better. Okay, so we got our bow shock, right? Well, if the material was the same density here and here, even though this is behind our bow shock, this whole area would be like this, blue. It's just showing us density. That's it. It's not able to show us anything else. So if the particles are the same density in front of our bow shock and our magnetic field, if the density is the same behind it, it's going to look as if it's not there. So I hope you guys understand that. Here's the pressure map. Again, nothing really crazy going on here. Okay, now, let me take that back. I did see this earlier. I want to show it to you. Watch what happens here. See that? You can see the tail kind of do it over here on this one. Just interesting. You know, it didn't do it at the top, just down here. It's nothing big, though. The other magnetopause models, these here, okay? This is, so what you're seeing is that's quite a bit of energy right there, guys. Now, it's inside our satellite line. It's in kind of a crazy shape. You know, it's kind of odd. Now, we start seeing over here on the magnetic field line once, you know, our lines are kind of getting all whopper-jawed. Now, you know, again, I'm not going to go into what can actually cause that. There's a lot of theories. I'm not going to sit here today and argue any of those. Frankly, I just don't have the energy. But I do want to point this out. And that would be the solar wind map here, okay? If you're looking at this, you see how we're kind of, it's still red from here to here. That means there's some denser particles, and it's showing some kind of like induction heating going on there. So what we do is, we look at this and we move it, right? Well, it goes away. And then we see that, right? So we know something out there is doing something a little bit crazy there. I've been showing you guys on the density graph on the other one, like a little bit of a reverse horseshoe or a C shape. Like we're getting more dense particles right in the front. And it would make sense because that's where we get hit at first, right? It takes a pounding out there. So if there was going to be a crack in something, maybe that's where it would be. I'm not saying it is a crack. I'm just saying you're getting more through right there because of what we're seeing. That does not mean that it's making it to the surface, and it doesn't mean that it's really doing a whole lot of anything, because that wasn't that intense. Okay? I'm going to say that straight up. Australian model. Shout out to my Aussies. Love my people from down under. Remember a while back, I said we want to see this shaking a little bit, right? This is what I like to see. That means we're kind of fluctuating in normal conditions. Now, yesterday I showed you guys this, and this bow shock was way off the graph. It was way over here. It almost completely disappeared. We were able to, you know, see the very top portion of it right here. And the reason why it did that is our density dropped out to virtually nothing. So that meant that the density out in front of us plus the wind speed wasn't really all that high. So we were able to push back against that solar wind a lot harder than what we typically do. So we, you know, our bow shock just went from here all the way out to here because that was the first point of contact. Okay? If you guys want to know what causes that bow shock, it's very simple. It is the point where our magnetic field hits the solar wind. That's it. So, in order for our bow shock to like not be there, like I've heard some people say before, our solar wind would have to go completely away, or we would have to lose our magnetic field completely. One of the two would have to disappear, or both. And let me tell you something. You wouldn't want to be here if that happened either direction. Because we probably wouldn't be here, if you guys get what I'm saying. Take a close look at Mars. That'll give you an idea what happens when somebody's magnetic field gets weak and goes. Atmosphere gets blowed off and all that. So, that's what I would say. So when somebody tells you this thing is gone or down or emergency or shields are down and all this other kind of stuff, no, it's not happening. Now we've had, our magneto pause is actually reversed before. This bow shock actually started pointing the other direction behind us. And there's theories on why. There was a lot of data brought on that. Scott caught some of it. And a lot of other people, okay? And the reason why I say Scott caught some of it is because they actually went back and tried to scrub all that info from the net. Because they didn't want us to see it. It lasted for over a day. Our bow shock was on the other side. It was on the backside, protecting us from the backside. And why is that important? The importance of that is that the reason it did something like that, the main reason is it had to protect us in the back because what we were getting from behind was actually stronger than what we were getting from in front. So ask yourself, what in the world was stronger than the sun for about a day and a half? You see what I'm saying? That's why that ended up being such a big deal. And yes, there's, like I said, guys, there's thousands of theories. I don't have to tell you guys' names and other people. You can just simply do a Google search and you'll find all these theories. It's not hard to find. So, yeah. Hey, Lady Blue, I got your email, by the way. I think I responded. I'm pretty sure I did. I tried to respond to a lot of my emails yesterday. I don't think I got to all of them, but I got some of them. Okay, let's look at the sun for just a quick second here. Okay, now this is going to allow me to illustrate to you guys something I think we need to know. And that is, when we're looking at these pictures of the sun, these images, we have to know what we're looking at as far as what does the 171 mean, what does the 211 mean. Those are all angstroms of light, okay? They're filters they put on here where they add, they add the filter so we can see certain gases of the sun, pretty much, is what's going on here. So that's why what this is showing you is nothing but 211 angstrom light. That's it. Our eyes can't see that, which doesn't mean it's not there. And so this is why we take issue with somebody saying that people are photoshopping things to make things appear, this, that, and the other. That's not what's going on whatsoever. We use filters because we see things that are there that our eyes can't see, but the camera can. You guys understand that? The 211 is outside of our visual spectrum. So is the 171. What you're looking at here is an assigned color that ISWA has given the 211. They could have made this puke green if they wanted to. They could have made it pink, yellow, whatever they wanted to do. They could have did whatever. And it still would have been 211, and it would look exactly the same except for the color. So I have to understand, I really want people to understand that. Hey, Menacing, what's up? Lady back in the hizzy. Boogie Down Bronx. MJ Mama in the house. Yeah, puke colored. Yeah, I know. Sorry. But anyway, I wanted to show you these two specifically because, just like what I just said, I'm going to pull this over here. Now watch what I'm going to do here. Okay, the 211's gone, right? So if I look at this and I walk away after I look at this capture, you guys see any coronal holes? Not really, right? Well, let's get rid of the 171 and show the 211. What's all that? Those are coronal holes. So do you see what I'm talking about here? Do you see why it's ridiculous when somebody says we Photoshop stuff when all we're doing is putting filters on it? And because it'll show us stuff that's there that we can't see with our eyeballs because our biology will not allow us to. That's it. That's as simple as I can explain it right there. So this right here is showing you that we do have some coronal holes right here. We're connected to some of them right now. So it's going to be 3 to 4 days before that gets here. But it's coming. Now, is it going to be bad? No, I don't think so. Is it going to be strong? Could be. Don't know yet. Have to wait till it starts getting here. So yeah. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, what's everybody's doing in here? Oh man. My back hurts, guys. My back is hurting today. Just trying to catch up there a little bit, guys. Sorry. How can this affect us? Coronal holes? Coronal holes can affect us. It's solar wind, okay? What that can do, it travels here through a magnetic connection line from the sun to the earth, okay? And it hits our magnetosphere, this thing. And when that happens, it can, if it gets in far enough, it adds energy, whatever. We can keep going with all this, but it can help cause earthquakes. It could, just do a whole lot of different other things. And that's, I guess the biggest thing, guys, is what we see immediately sometimes is the earthquake thing. And they are tying it together with some papers and stuff now. So we're going to have to watch for more of those studies to come out, because that's what's going to actually end up proving all of that completely 100%. Menacing, I talked about that in my last video. I can run through that real quick if you guys want me to. I think it's important that you guys know that that is not what we've seen, in my opinion. Because I want you guys also to understand, and I never would have even addressed any of that, guys, if I hadn't got a bunch of emails. That's fine, Menacing. That's cool. I'm not sure how many I got in here right now. 328. There's enough in here. I can show you guys if you guys want to see it. If you want my opinion on what she's talking about there, I can show it to you real quick. It won't take me but a minute. Because I'm just going to keep it real simple. But the first thing I want to say, guys, again, I don't use people's names. I don't use other people's channel names. All I know is that a channel out there said something was detonated on the sun, and it caused that big, huge CME we seen the other day. Now, the first thing I want to say here, and I don't say this to bash this person, is that they came out a day or two before saying this was the sun. Let that sink in for a second, guys. Okay? So, I think the person that did that video and stuff, they're good. They're a good person. Okay, I'm not trying to say that at all. Matter of fact, I've been kind of telling people, please don't, just kind of leave it alone. I definitely don't want people to go get mean and stuff in the comment section. I don't want that to happen at all. Which is why I don't say names. But at the same time, yeah. So, yeah, they were saying this was the sun. And I don't mean to laugh either, but sometimes I can't help it. I really try to hold that back. But when somebody calls that the sun, I just don't know. I just don't have nothing for you after that. Sorry. I don't know what else to say. I try to be as nice as I can, and I don't usually even talk about this, but I think this one is important enough to say, because when somebody makes a huge claim like that, They better have all kinds of evidence to back that up. I'm not talking about a few screenshots and some images. I'm talking about a lot of data they better be able to bring to the table, or nobody, and I mean nobody's going to believe it. Even if it was true, which I don't think it was. So let me explain. Okay, this is stereo ahead. We know where stereo's at, right? The satellite's here, Earth is here. This is our side view. First off, guys, let me zoom in here a little bit. This is going to be real quick because I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. I'm going to take this back to the day that was in question, which would be, what's up, dude? Love you. I think it was the 29th. So let me run this back. Oh, I gotta put the movie tool on. Sorry. I do want to explain this again, though. I really do, because I think it's important that people see what I'm talking about and how people can get things confused. The issue I have is when you point out the confusion, they ignore you and don't even reply when you're trying to help. That's kind of disheartening, because that's kind of what's happened quite a few times. But I still won't mention names. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to talk about what actually happened here and what we're seeing. Okay, so let me show you what's going on here. This is the day. This is back November 29th when we had that big full halo CME. Now remember, the satellite's here, Earth is over here. This is an occulter. Okay? That's an occulter. It has to be there, or we can't get any images at all. This black disc is not hanging out there in space. You see these arms? It's attached to the camera on the satellite. Okay? So what we're seeing is that. Now, so if I take you to the CME part, there's the CME where it first blows out, right? Well, actually I'm on the wrong... See, this is the other thing too, guys. This is stereo A. Notice how we see a CME, but check this out. I'm going to show you guys something. Nothing's here, right? These are 15-minute interval captures. If there was a bomb that was dropped from a craft, it would show up here, right? It would show up on whatever images you're looking at if you're looking from the same tool. There's a difference here. Let me show you. That's stereo A, core 2. Well, so is this. It's just a slightly different view. Not from a different position, this is a slightly different tool. Okay, you see how much clearer this is? Higher definition, all the above. That's Venus, before anybody starts asking what that is. That's what that is. Hey Dan, what's up? So let me take this one back so I can show you what I'm talking about. And I'm also going to show you something else here in just a minute that you need to see. Now, when you see that, that's nothing either. Okay? That is the internal parts of the camera. The camera is a tube. Okay? These things are directly, yeah. I mean, I can show you exactly. It's light bouncing around inside the camera, and I've explained that for everything. No, nothing exploded on the sun, Black. Okay? At least in my opinion. People can believe whatever they want to believe, but I'm going to show you guys my observations and show you why I'm saying what I'm saying. Which is what you're not going to get from the people that have already showed this and claim that that's what it was. Because they're going to show you one or two images and they're going to leave it at that. They're not going to go any deeper. Because they can't. Because there's nothing else there. That's the whole point. So let me show you this real quick. That's gonna, and I'm gonna show you guys something else too. I'm gonna show you 3 different tools that prove that this was not a bomb. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so here, that's the start of the CME, right? First off, let me say, this is the biggest CME flare we've had in over 3 years. Okay? Hey, Trinity, what's up? So, let me explain this. First, I want to tell you what was being claimed here. I want to say, first off, number 1, that is nothing more than a scratch on the camera. It's always there. It's always in that same position. No matter where you're at, what time of day, that stays right there. It's part of the camera. So if anybody's telling you that's something, it's not. It's a scratch on the lens. These things have been out here for lots of years, getting exposed to solar wind, charged particles, anything else that the sun and the cosmos wants to throw at this thing. It does not have an electromagnetic field to protect it, like the Earth does. The satellite just gets bashed. So it's going to have some scratches on it. That's what I'm trying to say. So, what was said, and I wouldn't even, guys, I don't go to this person's channel and watch it. The only time I ever see this stuff is when it was sent to me. Okay? I don't go looking for this stuff. I have no intentions of doing that. I don't get anything from it. But when my subs come to me with this, I feel like I'm responsible to respond to you guys and let you know my opinion. Alright? So, what was said was, like, either this one or that one was like a ship. Okay, first let me tell you why I don't think that that's what it was. Look at the other background stars. You see them? Watch when I move this. When I move the time. I'll back it up. Notice the speed of these, the speed of this, they're all moving at the exact same speed. So what does that tell you? Do you think a spacecraft, if that's what it was out there, would move at the exact same speed as every one of the background stars? No, it would not. Okay? So here's what was being shown. That alone is where that claim came from. This. So let me tell you what I think that is. That is a meteorite. Okay? Yeah, Ricky, you're right. The sulfur was off the chart, just so everybody knows. So, this is a meteorite, guys. Now, how do I know it's a meteorite? Well, because I can match it up to just about any other meteorite that we've seen on these tools ever. Okay? Number 1. Number 2, you guys realize if this thing was out by the sun, how big that would be? That would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably Earth's big. If not bigger. Okay? So, keep that in mind. Now, number 2, we cannot tell depth. This is a 2-dimensional model. We know that this satellite's 93 million miles away from the sun. Okay? We know that. That's what we're told. Okay? We don't have any way else to show or prove anything other than that. Now, with that being said, we don't know how far away from the satellite this thing is. This could be 15 feet in front of the satellite, which would make it a pebble. Okay? my gut feeling here and what I've seen before, just judging by what I've seen, is this thing is closer to the satellite than what it is to the sun. Just saying. Second thing here, if these are ships, right? Like I said already, if they're removing the, they're moving the same speed as the background stars, which wouldn't be happening. So we go right here where that's not there, right? Look at your timestamp. 12:24. These are 15-minute increments, okay? So nothing's there, and if it was going to drop from here, in 15 minutes it went from there to there. This distance. That would be a tremendous distance, number one, in 15 minutes. But, more importantly, if you measure this or get a rough idea how long that traveled in 15 minutes, let's go forward another 15 minutes. It's gone, right? Let's go forward another 15 minutes. Still not there. No explosion on the sun yet. So now it's been 30 minutes. So it went from here to here in 15 minutes. So it should double the distance, right? And maybe even more, and go faster the closer it gets to the sun, just because the gravitation and electromagnetism of the sun would draw it in faster. So if we double that distance, we're down here. So that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we got a half hour, and then we first see the first little whatever on the sun. Also, what was being said, they were talking about this little flashing we got here. Let me show you something here. You guys ever have a camera at home that wasn't your phone? Had a lens on it, like a lens cover? You guys see these spirals? That's kind of what you're looking at there. This is the end of the camera, right? So let me, I'm going to dive in a little bit more. So then this thing here was flashing. Let me show you what flashing means, okay? Let's back it up. You see that little black thing kind of flashing on and off, on and on right there? Listen, what's going on there is that occulter is there to block out the light. Like I said before, it's been there for however many years. It gets damaged. It's not exactly perfectly round anymore. So some of that light sneaks out. And that's what you see. Now that's the CME guys, by the way. And again, look, this thing never even moves. So I mean, that right there should just 100% prove that's a scratch of some sort. Or dirt even inside the lens that got in there somehow. But that's not a flash. That's just a little bit of, light leaking past the occulter. That's all that it is. So, let me show you something else. One more thing, and I'm going to stop talking about this because I'm done with this. It does get me fired up, and it gets me fired up for one reason. That's because when people say stuff like that, they tell you guys that, and you guys, you jump on that, which you should, because if that was actually what happened, that would be big time news, right? But we've tried to help this before, is what I'm trying to say. Me and Scott both did. So just know that this isn't the first time that this has happened with this channel. Just so you know. So, and people are welcome to believe and listen to whoever they want. I'm not going to tell you anything, I'm just showing you my observations on why I believe what I believe. So let me go here. So if we stay on the same satellite, and we look at the extreme ultraviolet, okay, let me show you something here. I'm going to take this back to the 29th just like I did the other one. Okay? And guys, please, and I want to say this too. Please nobody go over to that channel if you know who this is and give them any kind of a hard time at all. This is not my goal here. My goal here is so you guys understand that that's not what was being said. Okay? That's not what we see here. I want you guys to understand that. That's the only reason why I'm doing this. I don't care what happens over there. I don't want people to attack anybody. Okay? So please don't. If that's your intent, please don't even go over and leave nasty comments. You know, I don't want people doing that. You know, off of something I'm just trying to help others do here. So, let me show you something. This sunspot right here. So, if it was a bomb, that bomb would have had to drop off of that so-called ship that was moving at the exact same time as the background stars. Now, things are piling up here, right? Listen to what I'm saying. We have a ship that's moving at the same speed as the background stars. We have a bomb that's changing speeds whenever it wants and going directional wherever it wants. And now we have it landing right inside a sunspot that blew 4 days before that on the backside. Watch this right here. Do you see anything dropping in there? You don't see nothing dropping in there, do you? This is something that channel didn't do. You know why? I can tell you why. Because it doesn't show what was being said. That's why. Nothing dropped from a ship and landed inside of a sunspot and caused a huge CME. That didn't happen. In my opinion. Okay? And I just showed you 3 different tools and a whole lot of observations to back what I just said. And I guarantee you that what was being said over here on the other channel, they're not going to give you anything but this. They're going to show you this, they're going to tell everybody those are ships, then they're going to tell you that a bomb dropped from them. Listen to what I'm saying, guys. I mean, come on. So we got there, 15 minutes passes, and that bomb's right there, right? Then in 15 more minutes, it traveled here to here in 15 minutes, right? So if it's going to go the same speed, which it should actually move faster, it would be here in 15 minutes, right? It's gone. It's not there. It hasn't hit the sun yet because no explosion. 15 minutes later, still nothing. Then we get it there. 45 minutes later was when we see it, the CME start. It ain't no fleet of ships. Not even close, guys. Not even close. These are background stars, guys. They're all moving at the same speed. The same stars show up every time. I can take you and show you exactly when those are going to be there. I can show you, I can show you where they're going to be in 10 years. This is predictable stuff. The fleet of ships are hitting over by Stereo B. Stereo B would be over here. So if there's a fleet of ships over there, you know where we should see it at? We should see a fleet of ships. Well, let's just do this. This is an extremely zoomed out view from our planet. This is a satellite that sits out right in front of the Earth. So if there's a fleet of ships, it would be over here from Stereo B. It's not there. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I know, Thinker. I know. No, I knew you were joking. That's why I'm showing this. That's what I'm saying. It's almost, yeah. And that's kind of what I'm saying, guys. This is where this comes from, you know? And I am. I'm trying to be nice as I can, guys. I hope you guys see that. I'm doing this from a position of just trying to let you guys know that when somebody makes a grand claim like that, please email me. I want you to. Okay? So, what I'm saying is that I want to help, is what I'm trying to say. And let me tell you something. I've tried to reach out to this person that says this stuff, okay? Scott did. Scott actually had conversation. And it was kicked back in his face and all kinds of crazy stuff. This happened a long time ago. Boring old comments. Good one. Yeah, I think you're right there, Thinker. I do think that they're using Romulan cloaking technology. Well, I do think that there is such thing as some cloaking technology. I do. You know, it's not really hard to prove that that's actually true. Actually, you know where I can show you cloaking technology? I'm going to show you guys something. This is really, really interesting. I'm glad we're going down this line of thought because I'm going to take you somewhere way outside of space weather. Has nothing to do with space weather. But this is what I'm talking about. This technology is out there. Let me go here real quick. I need to go to a YouTube channel I subscribe to called Chris Ramsey. He's a magician, all right? And he solves puzzles. The dude's awesome, number one. His content is awesome. So, let me go here. See if I can't find it. Only take me a second here. He posted a video a few days ago, so it should show up pretty quick here. Where you at, buddy? Come on. He was just out there with a video. There's Daz, guys. If you guys don't subscribe to him, he's funny. He cracks me up. Daz Games. He's over in Britain, UK. All right, I'm just going to type it in. Hold on. This is Chris Ramsey. He's a Canuck. He's up in Canada. Beam you out of there and warp it? Heck yeah, Cosmo. Go for it, brother. Love it. Or sister. I'm not sure if you're a guy or girl. Sorry. So let me go down here and let me show you some cloaking technology. Now remember, this is not a space weather or any kind of anything, any channel like that. This is a magician testing a real invisibility shield. This is nothing more than a lens that distorts light. Watch. I'm going to play this. I got it paused, but watch. See? You guys see that, right? So, when somebody tells you that cloaking's not possible, show them this video. Go give him a subscription, guys. He deserves it. He's got a lot anyway. He's got 4.28 million. See, look at that. He's completely behind that thing. See what it does? It just moves the light. Here, I'll drop this video in the chat. It's Chris Ramsey. He's funny too. And he spent like a lot of money on some puzzles that he solves. Some of those puzzles are like awesome. You guys really got to do that. Yeah, Canadians are awesome, Wendy, for sure. See? It's as simple as bending light. It's really what it is, guys. That's all that is. So, if somebody tells you that cloaking stuff up in the sky is not possible, I would show them this video. Cosmo, come on. I see you, buddy. Yeah, exactly, Carolyn. It's old technology. You know what this reminds me of? Anybody from my time frame. I'm 46 years old, right? Well, what is this year? I'm 45. Sorry. Yeah, Haley, I love it. Yes, for real. Yeah, guys, subscribe to him. You guys will enjoy his channel, I'm telling you. Yes, you're right, Ricky. Now, listen. I remember when I was a kid and would buy a pack of baseball cards. And I used to love the holographic cards that you could take and you moved them. And it actually put them in motion. Right? They had like little horizontal lenses on them. So, what I'm saying is that this has been around for a long time. They use it in baseball cards. So, if you bend light the right way, you could completely jack yourself up and get completely missed. I mean, seriously. Now, he also has, and this is the other thing too, you know, magicians are really good about optical illusions. I actually know some magic myself. I worked on it because I've had hand surgery and stuff, and I got neuropathy in the first 3 to 4 fingers in both hands. So I was, you know, trying to learn some magic with my hands to make sure that, you know, I was trying to increase the integrity of my fingers. So I was just working on some of that stuff, and I actually got pretty decent with it. But he's got this one video. Yeah, you guys just need to go check him out because he's awesome. He's got this rug. He throws down on the floor, and it looks like you're falling in a hole. It really legitimately makes you feel like you're falling in a hole. And it's just a rug. So, what I'm saying is, our eyes can be fooled. Okay? And I think that a lot of us that have grown up, we've kind of pushed against that because, you know, we're adults now. And we don't think we should be able to have any kind of childlike thoughts. You know what I mean? We kind of feel kind of crazy there, right? But, I would just say that. So if you guys, yeah, go check him out, guys, please. He does a great job. He's awesome. Yeah, there you go, Cosmo. That's right. Yeah, when he busted up out of that grave. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, guys. You guys got any more questions? I really didn't want to do all that spacecraft stuff again with the bomb and all that. But people, you know, I knew people wanted to know what was going on with that. I kept getting emails on it. So, yeah. I'm just a kid at 46. Yeah, I sure as heck don't feel like one, that's for sure. I know, guys, ain't that right? I'd love to have one of those shields. That'd be cool. 143 in dog years, maybe. Just saying. Oh, man. Yeah. For sure, Ricky. New Moon at spaceweather.com. I can go look at that real quick. I didn't see anything. I didn't see nothing. I didn't see them talking about any of that. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this anyway. Check this out. Look. Guys, they just added these things today. Look at that. That one's close. That's 17 meters in diameter. That's a decent sized rock, and they missed it. It passed us 2 days ago. And then we got the 0.8 one here. I showed you guys one that the 0.9 one they missed yesterday. So they're finding more. Look at all the stuff they added. We were only supposed to have that one on the December 1st, the 0.1. Look at all this other stuff that happened. Kind of crazy. This is spaceweather.com here. I'm not sure. New moon. Oh, by the way, we are in the Sigma Hydrid meteor shower too. It's going to peak on the 7th, guys. You'll be able to see 3 to 5 meteors per hour. Also, we have an eclipse, lunar eclipse on the 14th. So that's coming. And then we also have the planetary alignment of Jupiter and Saturn, which will be the last time that happens for the next 800 years. Hi, Ivan. What's up? Rick, what's up? Man, you guys have been here typing your ages. Ain't none of you guys look that old. No way you're 50, Ricky. No way. And then you got no way, man. A lot of you guys in here typing. You guys are not that old. Oh, did you do it? Captured Earth, capturing that moon? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at that later. I try not to show other people's channels, especially their footage, unless I know who they are and they know who I am. Because sometimes people get upset about that. So I'll check it, and then if I want to show it to everybody, I'll bring it back out. I do appreciate that, though. Ellie, thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, I'll check it out, Ellie. Cool. Killing me there, Rip. Love you, brother. Yeah, you're right. It's just a state of mind. That's for sure. I'm telling you what, you can be 100 years old when you're 50, and you can be 50 years old when you're 100. That's the truth. I seen it firsthand with my grandparents. I had one set of grandparents that just like, I don't know, they stayed active. And they looked so much younger and acted so much younger. And then I had another set that had 1 foot in the grave from the time they were 5. Yeah, we're seasoned. That's right, Menacing. For sure. Alfred's got a birthday, huh? Happy birthday, Alfred. There you go, Ellie. 53 and growing young. Like it. Like it, like it. No, you ain't waiting, girl. You're there. You're come on now. You're intelligent. Another one just now? Let me check. Oh, wow. No, that's a 6-1. Yeah, there ain't nothing there but that one. I think he reported on that earlier. I'm pretty sure he did. Oh, the 8th? Okay, cool. What's on the 8th, Alfred? Is that your birthday? Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Hey, Axe, what's up? Hey, I was showing my wife Nacho's last post on your guys' channel. The cringe TikTok videos. That's pretty cool. Let her know I was laughing. Hey, guys, you guys need to go over there anyway. Let me show you guys that before I get off here. I want you guys to check out. Well, I want you guys to check out anybody that's got a channel here. But right now, I've been watching Axe's channel. Good music, funny content, good stuff. I just watched it. There's Rip's latest video, guys. Here. There's Rip's latest video, guys. Go check it out. Boy, if there ever was a statement that was true, that's it. Knowledge shouldn't be hidden, or should it? That's a heck of a question right there. So let's find Axe's channel. Man, am I overlooking this or what? Hey, Axe, post that link in there if you got it, man. That way I can click on it. You guys will like it. It's funny. Man, I bet you I've already passed it. There we go. Okay. Thanks, Axe. Daggone it. It did that to me last time. Stupid thing. Daggone it. Stupid thing jumping around on me. What the heck? Where are you? Sorry, guys. Let me get the chat back real quick. And again, sorry. I mean to waste your guys' time with this. I just want you guys to see that channel because I was cracking up. I was cracking up. Let me pop that out. All right. Got it back. Okay, let's try it again. Did that to me again. I don't know why it keeps doing that to me. Maybe if I don't pin it. Maybe that's what's going on. I was pinning it. Nope. do this. I don't know. There's something wrong with that link there, Axe. I don't know what's going on with that. You're in my subscription list. I don't know why it's not showing up. It's really starting to make me mad, to be honest. But yeah. Show you guys this real quick. I guess I could just type your freaking name in, huh? Might be the best thing to do here. Who the heck knows? Let's I'm gonna zero that out. Get that up here. Yeah, I don't know why that's not working. Is it going to go now? Yeah, there it goes. I don't know why that didn't work before. But here's the latest video, guys.
Followers. Hi everybody. Oh, I love you so much. Thank you so much for following me. I'm so excited. I just had such a wonderful and awesome day today. How to not get TikTok followers. You guys suck. Sometimes there's times. Of course sometimes there's time. And sometimes there's no time. And sometimes time feels like time, where other times time doesn't feel like time at all. Sometimes I know the time, but oftentimes I don't know the time. I'm a full-grown adult and I almost put an empty bag of milk back in the fridge.
It is time.
That's all you're going to get. Now go over and watch the rest of it. That's a teaser. Trying to help you out there, Axe. I thought that was a good cringe video for sure. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So, guys, we got some talented people over here, man. We really do. Got some talented people here. Cracking me up. Cracking me up. Plus the music, guys. You guys should check out the music there, too. Do a lot of good stuff there. So, guys, I am going to go ahead and end it. Obviously, this thing has went longer than what I expected. And that happens almost every stinking time I get... Oh, check this out. Man, see? You guys got me distracted trying to talk about bombs hitting the sun and everything else. I don't know. Check this out. This is in Beirut. Look at this hailstorm. Kind of crazy. What's up, VW? I know a lot of people are going to miss this, so I'm about to show it again in my next video. It like shut this place down, man. It's kind of crazy. Nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. So, yeah, I'll show this again in my next stream. I should have showed it earlier. Sorry, guys. But, anyway, guys, I will see you guys later tonight, maybe. Not sure yet. Hopefully. Yeah, it says hail. It looked like snow to me, but they're saying it was hail. Kind of crazy. Hey, what's up, Sig? How you guys doing in there? Sweet. Alright, guys. Thanks for everybody that supports the channel. I really do appreciate it. My PayPal link is in the description, and I'll leave it at that. But I want you guys to know that I really do appreciate you guys, and we will get there as soon as we get there. You guys know what I'm saying. God bless. Yahusha saves, and